Stand your ground. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Got another Transformers figure review for you today, and this time we're taking a look at the Studio Series Gamer Edition Optimus Prime. Here he is then, the leader of the Autobots, looking absolutely sick. Looks exactly like he does in game. Really good job they've done with this one. There are a few issues with the alt mode, which we'll get onto later. But the bot mode is fabulous. Yeah, really good job Hasbro with this one. He's arguably one of the best Gamer Edition figures we've got, even now at this point in time. The line has been a little bit hit and miss, so yeah, Optimus is definitely one of the strongest figures in the line. And they are re-releasing him soon. So if you missed out on him the first time, you will be able to pick him up again soon. On to the closer details for this Optimus then. As you can see, we get this brand new head sculpt for this guy. Looking more or less like it's been pulled straight from the game. Really, really cool. I'm a big fan of this sort of, it's almost like an anime style, Gundam style head design for Optimus. He's got these really tall sort of ear pieces going on, and then really tall crest as well, while the other features are very, very small in comparison to the body. So yeah, as you can see, the head is quite small compared to the rest of his body, but that is how the game design is. You get those nicely painted light blue eyes, and then a really cool metallic silver faceplate as well as the crest. Coming down to the chest, we get some more of that metallic silver paint detailing, as well as some really cool sculpt work for what will make up the front grille section for the truck alt mode. We get these really nicely painted bright red Autobot insignias on the shoulders there, which are really iconic from the game. They do glow in the game, they're like light up ones in the game. So yeah, they've done a really nice job with those there. As you can see, we've got some more sculpted detailing on the torso here, looking sick. It sort of forms that front section for the truck mode again there. And then even in here, we've got some sculpted detailing in there too, which looks really cool. Coming down to the arms then, there's not a lot going on. We get some of these tabs here, which are basically just for transformation. And then on this side, there is a little slot there, as well as another tab up there on the forearm. There's some really nice sculpted detailing in there. And even on the hands, there is some fairly basic sculpted detail in there for the hands on the fingers. And on this side, on this arm, we do actually get one of these little tabs so that you can attach some blast effects if you want. So you can just have that going on. Yeah, pretty random, but it's an option. It's something that you can do if you want to do it. There is also some sculpted detailing on this section here. Not really a lot going on the inside of it. Coming down to the waist section then. Get these really awesome looking orange details in here, as well as on this crotch piece as well. And then onto the hips and what would be called the thighs, I suppose. There is this really intricate greebling going on with these pieces here. Yeah, really cool looking robotic detailing. And then sort of the lower thighs, we get these really, really big panel sections going on. I believe in the game these pieces are like jangling around. They do actually move, whereas on this they're just sculpted there. Coming down to the legs, get some really interesting looking sculpt work going on again. A bit more metallic painted detailing in there with that silver colour. Not a lot going on with the feet really, they are pretty basic, but yeah, they do the job. They look like what they're supposed to, unlike the Sideswipe figure's feet. And then obviously the smokestacks just fold up there like so. Flipping him around to the back. He is fairly kibble-tastic around the back. You got the front section there for the alt mode, that's just the front bumper there, and then the wheels get stored up on the back, which is game accurate. It is game accurate back kibble, so yeah, I won't complain too much. And then even where the wheels store away, that is game accurate as well. Onto the accessories for Optimus then. First up, we get his iconic ion blaster as it appears in game. Looking really sweet. There's no paint on it, but it is done in this dark grey / black plastic, and there's some really cool sculpted details on it as well. You even get like a little iron sight up top, which is pretty sweet. And it is blast effect compatible. It does have one of those little nubs on the barrel. Now this piece, I've modified mine, so when you first buy the figure it won't look like this. It won't have this little attachment on it. So I've modified this myself. I've just glued a piece in there. There is just a 5mm port inside there so that you can attach it to the forearm. But I just glued this piece in as I wanted him to hold it as a blaster. Much like all of the other Gamer Edition figures, you can remove his right forearm. And it does have one of those 5mm posts on it there, so you can attach the blaster onto there if you want to make it look like it's been transformed up out of his arm. Obviously on mine I've got that piece on there now, so he just holds it, which I think creates a better look really. And then the second weapon we get for Optimus is this really cool looking Energon axe, which is game accurate. It is the melee weapon that he uses in game. And as you just saw there, you can fold it out to create two different looks going on. So we've got the traditional sort of hatchet going on there, and then you can transform it into this double-edged battle axe. It does have a little bit of paint on it. It's very basic, it's nothing too fancy, just a little bit of this light orange colour going on to create that Energon effect glow. But yeah, we get some really nice sculpted detailing on there. And the axe is in 3 separate pieces. So you've got the top of the axe there, the axe head, and then the handle also separates into 2 separate pieces. So you can have him holding this section if you want, you can have him holding the bottom section, or if you really wanted to, you could just pop that in his hand and just have him holding that. But yeah, it's gives you a few different options, because if you don't want the full length of it, you can just have it as like a little sort of hatchet going on, or you know, you can transform it up into the full-blown battle axe. So yeah, a couple of different options for you there. This post doesn't really serve any purpose, to be honest. You can sort of just fudge it in there if you want to. You will hold on to it like that, but yeah, it doesn't really serve any purpose. And in terms of weapon storage for the bot mode, there is none, sadly, with this guy. The only thing you can do is, if you've got the blaster attached to that 5mm post there, what you can do with the forearm that you've removed is you can come to the back section here, and there is just this little hole right there, and you can just tab that onto there like so. So the arm just stores away under there. It does look a little bit silly in my opinion, which is why I modified that blaster piece so he could hold it instead. So yeah, probably one of the biggest disappointments with this figure is the lack of weapon storage. That's what it looks like holding his blaster. Yeah, especially for the axe, considering they gave us that 5mm post on the side, but there's just nowhere around the back to even store it. So yeah, you just sort of have to pop that off to the side if you don't want him holding it. The third and final accessory we get with Optimus is the Matrix of Leadership. So if you just come to the chest here and open out these 2 panels, we do get a really awesome looking matrix chamber going on there inside the chest. And it is painted as well. We get some of that dark gunmetal grey paint there to bring out all this intricate circuitry detailing inside Optimus's chest. I'm just going to remove the matrix piece for now. It just tabs in. And then we do get some really cool sculpt work underneath where the matrix sits as well, which is awesome. And yeah, it just connects onto this 5mm little post that we get here, and then these two tabs. So yeah, really cool. And this is the matrix piece. It is fairly small and just done in this grey plastic. Got a 5mm port there and on the back. Light blue colour there for the core, and then just a little bit of gold for the plating around the edges. And there is no way for him to hold it, unfortunately. He doesn't have any finger articulation, so you've pretty much got to have it either stored in there, or you can sort of fake it a little bit and just have it attached onto his forearm, like so. But yeah, there's no way for him to hold it, unfortunately. So just pop that back in there. There we go. Moving on to the articulation for Optimus then. First up, we've got a head which is on a ball joint, so it will go a full 360. It will look up to there, look down to there. Can get a little bit of side to side tiltage. The shoulders are on hinges, so you can hinge out to there. You can also go a full 360. There is a bicep swivel there. There's a just past 90-degree bend on the elbow. And then the wrists are on swivels as well, but they won't go 360. They'll just go 180, as this piece stops it from moving any further. Coming down to the waist, it is on a swivel. It will go full 360 if you just maneuver the backpack kibble out the way. The hips are on hinges, so you can hinge out to about there. You can kick up nice and high. Can't really kick back as much, unfortunately, as this piece is catching with this waist section now. There is a thigh swivel up here, which is fairly tight. There's also a 90-degree bend on the knee. If you maneuver the kibble out of the way, you are going to be able to get it to go past 90, but obviously the wheel kibble is supposed to be in there. So, and then coming down to the feet, there's a slight ankle rocker, and then a little bit of up and down movement, but not a lot. So just before we hit up this guy's transformation, I've just got a couple of comparisons to show you with some of the other Gamer Edition figs. So there he is with his arch rival and nemesis Megatron, and that is the Gamer Edition Megatron. Looking really cool together. Next up, we've got him with the Gamer Edition Sideswipe, ready to infiltrate the K-On! Prison together. And then, just finally, we'll bring in his best buddy. That is the Gamer Edition Bumblebee. Let's transform and roll out. So guys, onto the transformation. First up, what I'm going to do is just going to take the arms and extend them up like that, just to get them out of the way. And then we're going to grab these shoulder sections here, and they are just going to extend out on these pieces here, like so. Next, we're going to spin him round and just fold out all this backpack section here, and then you can rotate that around as well and just fold it down like that. Then we're going to rotate these pieces around so that these front fender sections are now facing forward, as that's going to create the front of the truck. Then we're going to separate this torso here, and it is just on this sliding mechanism like that. So you want to slide that round so that it's looking like that, and then you can just push his head back down into there, as that is going to create the front section. We're going to fold all this down on top, and you've just got to sort of bend these pieces over that front bumper section like that, as that is going to form the front of the truck. once you've done that, you're just going to rotate at the waist so that the legs are now facing upwards, and then you can combine these together. There are just these little tab slot connections here, and then some more down at the bottom here. So just squeeze those in, get those connected up. So that's the front half done. Next, what I'm going to do is just going to rotate at the hips and push the legs up a little bit to give us enough room to fold the arms underneath. So with the arms, what we're going to do is we're going to rotate them around so that these clean panels are facing us now, and the Autobot insignia should be facing upwards. So we'll do that for both sides, just rotate them like that. And then you're going to bend at this joint here, which is a transformation joint, on both sides. Then what you can do is you're just going to bring the arms together and use that tab slot connection that we get down there to just tab them in. That's going to form on the underside. So all we've got left to do now is the legs. So firstly on the legs, I'm just going to open these panels out and extend them up like that. And then in these gaps that we've now created, we can fold the feet into there. I'm going to detach this panel while moving the smokestack up. And now that that's out of the way, we can grab these wheel sections, which are just on these hinge joints. And they are just going to soft tab into place like so on the side. So again, separate this panel, bring that smokestack up, hinge out those wheel sections and soft tab it into place. Then we can go ahead and combine these two halves. There is just these tab slot connections that we get down the middle. So combine the back bit first, and then again, tab slot connections on here. Combine this roof section up, and you're just going to fold that down. Then it's a case of just wiggling the legs around and getting them to fold down on top of these arm sections. And as you can see on the tops of the arms here, we get two tabs which are going to go into these little slots that we get up here. So just try and get it all lined up. Get it all tabbed in. Like so. Almost there, guys. We're going to come to these panels here, and you just want to push them in like that, and then they are going to tab in to that top section as well. It is a case of just getting everything lined up so that you can connect it all in, and just make sure those smokestack pieces are all the way up. Do the same on the other side. Get it all connected up, give it one last squeeze, make sure everything's tabbed together correctly. And there we go, transformation complete. Let's roll. So here we are then, this is the alt mode for Gamer Edition Prime. Looking pretty sick for the most part. Yeah, I'm a big fan of this truck design. It's that sort of Cybertronian truck that he transforms up into in the game. Yeah, it's really, really cool. As you can see, the most glaring issue here is this back section is just completely open and exposed. They've made no effort to cover up this bit here, which I sort of understand because of the engineering of how the feet fold down. You know, when he's in bot mode, the feet fold down into those gaps, so they sort of have to be there. But I mean, I would have taken just a panel that clips over the top of everything. Just a slight, mild bit of parts forming just to cover all that up. As when you're in game, you know, and you've transformed, this is your primary sort of perspective. And he does have like these little tail lights going on at the back in game. Whereas obviously on the Gamer Edition figure, we've just got those ugly ass hands to look at. As for the rest of the truck, it's got some really cool detailing on it. Nice sculpt work, little bit of paint here and there. As you can see, we get more of that metallic silver that forms this front section. There's this sculpted detailing in here for this sort of intake. Wheels are done in this metallic silver again, and then there's a little bit of red as well, just outlining those silver alloys. A little bit of paint on these panels on the sides, not too much going on. It would have been nice if they'd have picked out these little details in some yellow or orange, or maybe red, depending on what colour the lights are supposed to be. Yeah, that would have been nice. Top section cleans up fairly nicely. Obviously there's a bit of a hollow gap there. And to the other side, it's pretty much more of the same. As stated, it is very hollow at the back with that open sort of rear section where you can just see his hands, and then that's what it looks like from underneath. So yeah, he's a little bit kibbly, and I really wish they'd have found a better way to engineer these arms, because they are just so ugly. In terms of weapon storage for alt mode, what you can do, you can bring in the ion blaster, and we get these two little tabs on the bottom here, which you can connect into these two slots here on the rear, just like so. So you can have the rear mounted turret going on there. I don't believe it's game accurate. I'm pretty sure he just has like rockets on his truck mode in game, but it still creates for a fairly cool look. And then with the axe, what you can do is, using this sort of iron sight piece that we get on the top of the ion blaster, you can come to this section here, and the axe can just tab on the top of there like that. Just rotate that piece upwards. So you can just have the weapon stored away on the top like that. Obviously it does look completely ridiculous really. But yeah, that's your weapon storage. Just going to bring you a couple of those comparisons again. The other figs transformed up into their alt modes. So there he is alongside the Gamer Edition Megatron. Looking really cool together. Let's bring in Sideswipe. There we go, there he is next to Sideswipe. Scale perfectly well together, as they do in game. And then just finally we'll bring in little old Bumblebee there. So yeah, really cool looking. Final thoughts for this Optimus figure then, guys. Yeah, I think he's a really cool inclusion. It's great to see the War for Cybertron designs back in figure form. And for saying that this guy was one of the first Gamer Edition figures, he is arguably one of the best ones still, which is quite ironic really. But they've just messed it up quite badly. I know a lot of people didn't like the Barricade figure. Some people don't like the Megatron. Yeah, it's just not been the best line really. I mean, even this Optimus figure is far from perfect, but he is arguably one of the best figures out of the line, which just goes to show how bad the rest of them are. The most notable issues on this guy, you know, we get these massive ugly hollow spaces in the thighs there. There's more hollow gaps down on the feet. Inside the shoulders here, very hollow there. Inside the biceps as well. And then one of the other issues I've got with it is I don't think it's going to pick it up on the camera. Just fold these out of the way. This plastic that they've used down here on the bottom of the legs is so thin. Sometimes when you're looking at it just with the naked eye, you can see the light coming through the plastic itself, which just goes to show like how thin the plastic is, and just makes it feel a little bit cheap, which when you consider the price that we're paying for these figures now, it's not the best look really for Hasbro. I mean, most of the other figures that I've got in the Transformers line, you know, they all seem to be really good, high quality plastic, but for whatever reason, these Gamer Edition figures just seem to suffer a little bit. Not entirely sure why, but yeah, it is a shame. And then the only other issue I've got with it is obviously with the alt mode, you know, those exposed hands. Just a massive shame, really. So he's definitely better looking in his bot mode. I think the weapons are pretty good. It would have been nice if they'd have engineered some weapon storage for bot mode. But all in all, yeah, he is arguably one of the best Gamer Edition figures, to be honest. If you're looking to pick one up for yourself, he is going to be available again very soon. I believe this month, as we're in September now. So they are re-releasing him. And I will drop a link down below if you want to pre-order it. So yeah, it'll be available again soon. So you will be able to pick him up. So, with all that being said, guys, drop me a like if you enjoyed the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the upcoming reviews. Drop me a comment down below to let me know what you think of this figure. And as always, take care, and I'll see you on the next one.